Modern engines are more advanced than ever. They use sophisticated computers, tighter manufacturing tolerances, synthetic oils, variable valve timing, direct injection, turbocharging, and decades of engineering development. So why can a relatively modern engine need a quart of oil added between oil changes, while some older engines seem to barely move the dipstick? That contradiction confuses a lot of drivers, and it can become expensive. If an engine repeatedly consumes oil and nobody checks the level, it can spend thousands of miles running lower than it should. That can contribute to timing chain wear, variable valve timing problems, camshaft damage, bearing wear, and turbocharger failure. Depending on the engine, repairs can range from a few $100s to several thousand. That doesn't mean every engine that uses oil is failing, but it does mean you need to know what your engine is doing. Because a lot of drivers assume a modern car will warn them before the oil level becomes dangerous. Careful! That assumption is not always correct. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 10 biggest reasons some modern engines consume more oil than older designs, why manufacturers made these engineering choices, and what you can do before oil consumption becomes an expensive problem. Number 9. Longer oil change expectations. Most drivers assume that if the car doesn't need an oil change yet, there's no reason to think about the oil. Mechanically, those are two different questions. Oil change interval means how long the oil is intended to remain in service. Oil level means how much oil is actually left in the engine. An engine can consume oil while the oil itself still has usable service life. Imagine changing the oil, then driving several thousand miles. There's no leak on the driveway, no visible smoke, no dashboard warning. Everything seems fine. But if the engine is gradually consuming oil, the level may be dropping the entire time. Older engines weren't automatically better. Many burned plenty of oil, especially with age. But shorter maintenance intervals and more frequent underhood checks sometimes meant owners noticed sooner. Today, many drivers rarely open the hood. Oil consumption can also change with driving conditions, including short trips, highway driving, towing, hot weather, extended idling, and frequent cold starts. The solution is simple. Don't treat the oil change interval as permission to ignore the oil level. Check it periodically using the procedure in your owner's manual, especially if you bought the vehicle used and don't know its consumption history. But the next factor is where the argument usually starts. Number 8. Thinner engine oils. Many drivers believe manufacturers use thinner oils simply to improve fuel economy at the expense of engine protection. That's an oversimplification. Modern engines commonly specify low-viscosity oils such as 0W20, with some applications using even thinner grades. There are legitimate reasons. Thinner oil can circulate quickly during cold starts, reduce pumping losses, and lower internal resistance. But the engine must be designed around that specific oil. Modern oil may also operate variable valve timing systems, hydraulic chain tensioners, precise bearing clearances, and turbochargers. Randomly switching to thicker oil because an engine consumes oil can alter flow characteristics in systems engineered for a different viscosity. That doesn't mean viscosity has no effect on consumption. It can. Oil volatility, operating temperature, engine clearances, and design all matter. But there's no universal rule saying, if a modern engine burns oil, use thicker oil. Use the manufacturer-required viscosity and specification unless a legitimate vehicle-specific recommendation says otherwise. API, ILSAC, Dexos, and manufacturer approvals may also matter. The correct oil is the oil your engine was engineered to use, but viscosity is only part of the story. Number 7. Higher operating demands and heat. If your temperature gauge looks normal, you might assume everything inside the engine is operating comfortably. Not necessarily. Modern engines are designed to extract more efficiency from combustion. Higher compression ratios, advanced ignition control, tighter packaging, and emission strategies can create demanding thermal conditions. Then add real-world driving, stop-and-go traffic in summer, long freeway runs, towing, heavy vehicles working under load. Oil must handle that heat while maintaining a protective film around bearings, pistons, camshafts, and other components. Around the piston, the rings are controlling combustion pressure while managing the oil film on the cylinder wall. As mileage, deposits, and wear accumulate, that oil control environment can become more challenging. This doesn't mean every modern engine running at high temperatures will burn excessive oil. But if consumption suddenly increases, investigate. An engine consistently using a small amount is one thing. An engine suddenly consuming a quart much faster than before is another. And the next factor adds even more heat and stress. Number 6. Smaller turbocharged engines working harder. A relatively small modern engine can produce power that once required much more displacement. Turbocharging is a major reason. Force more air into a smaller engine, add the correct fuel, and you can produce impressive torque and horsepower. But cylinder pressures and thermal loads can be significant. And now the oil has another critical component to protect: the turbocharger. A turbo spins at extremely high speeds and depends on clean, correctly specified oil. Poor maintenance, incorrect oil, or restricted lubrication can shorten turbo life. A damaged turbo can also become a path for abnormal oil consumption, allowing oil into the intake or exhaust side. Sometimes you'll see smoke. Sometimes the first clue is simply increased oil use. Turbo replacement may cost around $1,000 on some vehicles and several thousand on more complicated applications. That doesn't make turbocharged engines unreliable. It simply means neglect can be less forgiving. If oil consumption suddenly increases, don't assume. That's just what turbos do. Track the consumption and investigate. Because adding oil forever without asking where it's going isn't a repair strategy. Number 5. The PCV system and oil vapor. No external leak doesn't mean the oil isn't going somewhere. Every running engine produces some blow-by. A small amount of combustion gas passes the piston rings and enters the crankcase. The positive crankcase ventilation system manages that pressure by routing vapors back toward the intake. But those vapors can carry oil mist. Modern engines use valves, separators, diaphragms, hoses, and internal passages to control it. When something fails, oil consumption can increase. A bad PCV valve or diaphragm can create abnormal crankcase pressure or vacuum, pulling more oil into the intake. You might notice oil residue, rough running, unusual vacuum symptoms, or whistling. Sometimes the only clue is a dropping oil level. That's why you shouldn't immediately assume worn piston rings. A PCV problem may be far cheaper to repair than internal engine damage. If an engine used almost no measurable oil for 60,000 miles and suddenly starts consuming a quart between services, something changed. Investigate external leaks, PCV operation, the turbocharger if equipped, valve seals, and piston rings. Follow evidence. Don't guess. We're halfway through the list. Now we're getting into internal design changes that explain why some modern engines behave so differently. Number 4. Direct injection and deposits. Many drivers assume fuel constantly washes the inside of an engine clean. On direct injection engines, that's not always true. Traditional port injection sprays fuel before the intake valve, helping wash deposits from the back of the valve. Direct injection sprays fuel directly into the combustion chamber. That improves fuel control and efficiency, but the intake valves no longer receive the same washing effect. Combine that with oil vapor from the PCV system, and deposits can form around the intake valves on some engines. That doesn't directly cause massive oil consumption, but deposits can affect airflow and combustion quality while becoming part of a larger contamination problem. Short trip driving can make conditions worse because the engine experiences more cold operation, moisture, fuel contamination, and incomplete warm-up cycles. Don't assume a low-mileage modern engine is automatically clean inside. Use the correct oil and follow maintenance requirements appropriate for how the vehicle is actually driven. But the bigger oil consumption issue is deeper inside the piston. Number 3. Low-tension piston rings. Most people think piston rings only become a problem when an engine is completely worn out. Not always. Piston rings help seal combustion pressure, transfer heat, and control the oil film on cylinder walls. But rings also create friction. Reducing that friction can improve efficiency. That's one reason some modern engines use ring packages designed to reduce internal drag. It doesn't mean they're defective. It means oil control depends on a precise balance. When everything is clean, the system can work extremely well, but deposits can interfere with ring movement. Then excess oil remains on the cylinder wall, reaches the combustion chamber, and burns. Frequently, not enough to produce obvious blue smoke. No leak, no smoke cloud. Just a dipstick slowly dropping over thousands of miles. Some older engines use different ring tensions, heavier oils, lower specific output, and different efficiency priorities. That doesn't mean every old engine consumed less oil. but some modern engines can show measurable consumption before anyone would traditionally call them worn out. Monitor the pattern. If consumption increases, investigate, because the next problem can progressively make it worse. Number 2. Oil control ring deposits. This is where a small problem can begin feeding itself. Oil scraped from the cylinder wall needs to drain back through passages in the piston. If deposits build around the rings or restrict those passages, oil can't return as efficiently. More oil remains near the cylinder wall. More reaches the combustion chamber, more burns, and more deposits can form. Oil consumption creates deposits. Deposits interfere with oil control. Poor oil control increases consumption. That's why some engines consume very little oil early in life, then gradually use more as mileage increases. The engine may still run well. There may be no obvious smoke, but oil control is deteriorating. Adding oil prevents the engine from running low, which is critical. But it doesn't fix why the oil is disappearing. And don't assume a miracle cleaner will solve every problem. Stuck rings, worn cylinders, damaged valve seals, and failing turbos are mechanically different failures. They require different solutions. Number 1. Lower friction and better fuel economy. This is the pressure behind many modern engine decisions. Automakers need lower fuel consumption and emissions while delivering the performance customers expect. One way to improve efficiency is reducing internal energy losses. Less pumping loss, less drag, less friction. That influences oil viscosity, piston rings, bearing clearances, variable valve timing, engine size, and turbocharging. Each improvement may be reasonable individually, but together they create a highly integrated engine. Correct viscosity matters, clean oil matters, oil level matters, temperature matters, deposit control matters. Older engines weren't magically reliable. They suffered oil leaks, deposits, worn valve guides, loose tolerances, and high mileage oil burning. But they were designed around different priorities. Modern engines are being asked to produce more power and efficiency with less internal loss. That's impressive, but it can also reduce the margin for neglect. And number 1 explains the bigger truth behind all of this. So here's the practical plan. First, use the correct oil viscosity and performance specification for your exact engine. Second, learn the correct procedure for checking the oil level from your owner's manual. Third, check periodically between oil changes, especially before long trips or after buying a used vehicle with an unknown history. Fourth, track consumption. Record the mileage and how much oil you add. Stable consumption is very different from rapidly increasing consumption. Fifth, investigate sudden changes. Possible causes include external leaks, PCV problems, turbocharger issues, valve seal wear, or piston ring and cylinder problems. You can't diagnose an engine without evidence, but you can recognize when the pattern changes. And finally, don't blindly rely on the dashboard. Technology is useful. It's not a substitute for understanding your vehicle. So why do some modern engines burn more oil than older ones? Not because engineers forgot how to build engines, because engines changed. They became more efficient, more powerful for their size, more complex, and more dependent on precise lubrication. And if you want practical automotive information that can help your car last longer and avoid expensive repairs, like the video and subscribe.